What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today I wanted to talk about this new sort of transition I've personally been going through as an investor, where I've found myself getting a lot less interested in analyzing stocks and public companies and a lot more interested in crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where I'm spending the time doing my research has migrated. I am reading white papers instead of SEC filings, and I wanted to make an episode kind of explaining why and why I think this is such an amazing inflection point in the financial markets and is actually a very good thing. The biggest kind of crux of the thesis right here, and this has been grinding my gears for a very long time, is good companies and good startups are not going public. This has been a problem since 2008, unless you are a massive size, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and you just have so much employees with stock that need liquidity and you're worth, tens of billions of dollars, then sure, it makes sense to IPO. But if you're only worth a couple $100 million, God forbid less, there's not a chance that it makes financial sense to IPO on the public markets. This is a real problem for young investors like myself. So many startups out there that I want to invest in: Gotham Greens, Impossible Foods, Aero Farms, Robinhood, Slack, Airbnb, Lyft, The Boring Company. There's so many fascinating startups out there that I would love to put my capital in, that I would love to be able to read the financials about and follow, but all of those companies have one thing in common. They are private. It is impossible for someone like me to buy shares in those companies. The only people who get access to buying equity stakes in these companies are venture capital firms. And I'm not blaming the VC firms, but they are sort of taking all the thunder. They're getting all the gains. I think this is a huge driver in the increase in the wealth gap that we're seeing in society, is the fact that all of these exciting companies, it's not like I don't know about them and I don't want to invest in them. It's that literally there isn't a framework for me to put my capital with them, and the venture capitalists are stealing up all the shares. Who's invested in the venture capital firms? All these really old rich people. So the rich people are just getting richer and have restricted access to these amazing opportunities. It sucks and it's super frustrating, but we are at an amazing inflection point, which is now with all of these smart people working on crypto assets, I'm actually realizing that some of the most disruptive entities that are just beginning out that I want to put my capital towards are not startups. They're actually open source crypto projects. These crypto assets have tokens that are decentralized or are cryptocurrencies that I can actually invest in alongside the world's leading venture capitalists. Let me give you guys a couple examples here. Andreessen Horowitz, who's one of my favorite VC firms. I went on a binge of watching a million Mark Andreessen YouTube videos a couple years ago, and I just think they're an awesome firm. They've been right on so many incredible, tech investments. They have things like Airbnb, Box, Bracket, Branch, BuzzFeed, Coinbase, Facebook, GitHub. I could just go on forever and ever telling you all these amazing companies that Mark Andreessen and Andreessen Horowitz have invested in. I love what they're doing as a VC firm, and what's fascinating is they are starting to back crypto asset projects that I can buy too. Just to give you guys an example, Ripple, the crypto asset that is meant to do interbank transfers with large sums and improve and streamline that process, has the backing of Andreessen Horowitz. I don't know if Ripple will work or not. I'm still trying to do research it myself, but what is so epic is that I can buy into Ripple, today if I wanted to, and this is the same thing that Mark Andreessen is funding with his firm. And that is just one micro example of how Silicon Valley is migrating to those crypto assets, which people like you and me can invest in alongside them. Another example, of which I actually own a tiny amount myself as just a tester position, is a project called MakerDAO. It has this idea of operating a stable coin on the Ethereum network. There's two different tokens or currencies within the MakerDAO ecosystem. One of them is DAI, which is something that is pegged to the value of the US dollar and in theory should always be $1 US. Then there's another asset called the governance token, which is called MakerDAO, which is sort of the way to invest in the actual project and realize the upside gains. MakerDAO as a token, which I own, is actually what Mark Andreessen and his firm, Andreessen Horowitz, owns as well. So I'm literally investing in this project that is basically a pseudo startup in the form of a crypto asset project alongside the world's leading venture capitalists. And I think the smartest people in the world have gone from launching startups to launching crypto asset projects. So I think this may be an even better asset class than this private market these days. And just to put things in perspective, with Ripple, Google Ventures, also a backer. If you have heard of Tim Draper or his son Adam Draper, who runs Boost VC, famous Silicon Valley heavyweights who've been in the industries for years, they are investing in all of these massive crypto projects. Just wanted to make this episode to give you guys an update. Hyperchange is me documenting my investing journey sort of, and I think it's really an crazy inflection point that one of the biggest inflection points that's ever happened in my investing career, where I am so fascinated and gravitating towards this new asset class, which has never even existed before, crypto assets. I think this is an amazing time to be alive as an investor, as a finance nerd. Like, the world is changing faster than ever. It's hyper change, especially in finance with crypto assets right now. The chains of institutional finance, which were locking up the world's best investment opportunities, have been thrown out of the window with crypto. Epic. I'm gonna be making a ton more videos on different crypto assets I'm investing in and the space, and we'll update just this entire phenomena of public market versus crypto assets. Anyway, this is Hyperchange. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments. You know, are you seeing the same thing? Are you feeling the same way? Any ideas or comments you have, would love to know. Leave them below. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.